Now, with this story, I'm actually going to have to read from two different articles because one gave certain information and then the other article actually gave additional information. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are looking at the thumbnail of this video, whoa, whoa, Nelly. Whoa, Nelly. I hope you guys are strapped in. I hope y'all get some thick skin, get rid of the sensitive Nancy's, because we are about to go in on a crazy hood ghetto situation. And so let me give you guys a disclaimer before we get into the details of this incredibly sad, stupid story. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. Y'all are already going in the comment section like I hadn't even gotten to what I was going to say yet. So y'all are going a little bit above, a little bit ahead of me, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And I'm getting this story from ABC3340.com. So thank you for the article, and the ManchesterEnterprise.com. So two different articles, okay? So we'll get back to that lady's hairline here in just a second. Let's get to the main portion of the story. Birmingham, Alabama. Y'all are taking an L here, okay? The Birmingham police have arrested and charged a woman in connection to the deadly domestic dispute on Easter Sunday. Birmingham police have arrested a 30-year-old. That is a hard ass 30 years old. Would y'all have looked at her and thought that she was 30? I know some of y'all are looking like, Jay, why don't you comment on the obvious? Why don't you comment on her hairline or lack thereof? Trust me, we're going to get there, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get there. First of all, let's talk about allegedly 30 years old. This is not a good person. She's a horrible person. She's a horrible mother. She's a horrible human being. She has no heart. Like, she just, like where her heart should be, she just has an ice pump, right? 30-year-old Shatise Jackson of Birmingham was arrested on warrant charging her with capital murder. Capital murder because a child was present. Let's talk about that because I like that, and I hate that the circumstance even occurred because it's obviously affecting children. The reason why that's such a good thing is because when things happen that involve children or in front of kids, we need to take it more serious. And I'm glad that this law actually does specifically that. That is very similar to like what we have in Texas when we have super aggravated child abuse laws against kids under the age of 13 years old. In this situation, these kids saw what this woman did to their father. And so there was an extenuating circumstance there that upgraded the charge and made it a capital murder charge, which I think is good. And that's after she ran this man over with her vehicle, and he is these kids' father. Now, according to BPD on Sunday at approximately 9:50 p.m., police responded to calls of a woman attempting to run over a man, identified as 27-year-old McKees James Bostic, who is this young man. Okay? I did get a chance to look on social media. There were a lot of people saying a lot of good things about him. A lot of people saying a lot of good things about him, especially him being a father. They said he was a really, really good father. He was really loved, and he's really missed. So I thought I'd throw that out there to let you guys know. He was 27 years old. When officers arrived on the scene, they discovered a vehicle that collided with a house. And yes, she's laughing. Well, trust me, we're going to get back to that here in a moment. Did I say get back to that here in a moment? Here in a moment? Officers discovered that Jackson ran over Bostic, who was between the vehicle and the house. She crushed him with a vehicle and a house. So for the people out there who say we need to ban guns and the Second Amendment rights shouldn't apply, we shouldn't have guns, we should get rid of guns. So does this mean that we should get rid of cars? Does that mean we should get rid of people having licenses to drive and should we also get rid of homes because she used the house as a weapon also? Should we get rid of houses too? Right? Again, I want people to understand that we're talking about holding people responsible for the actions that they make and not blaming the tools that they used, right? Say that again. We don't want to blame people for the tools they use. We don't want to put it on the tools. We want to put it on the person that utilized the tools for death and destruction. In this case, that being a car, her running this man over for absolutely no good reason. You can't prove that there's a reason good enough for her to do what she did to this man. There is no reason. Let me get back to this. I lost my article here. Now, the scene was chaotic, resulting in BPD calling a MAX officer emergency over the radio. I don't exactly know what that is, but that's even more serious. BPD's preliminary investigation revealed, because I think it was a lot of people there was a large birthday party and Easter Sunday celebration at Bostic's residence. Jackson and Bostic had previously been engaged in an argument at a location earlier that evening, which later resulted in Jackson leaving, then returning to what would become a deadly altercation. So here's the thing. They had an argument, whatever that led to. She left and then came back. Let me say that again. She left. She was safe. He was safe. Everybody was safe. She left and then came back, which makes that premeditated. That alone will get you a capital murder charge. First degree. Witnesses reported that during the dispute, Jackson got into her vehicle and ran over Bostic, causing the vehicle to collide with him and his neighbor's house. Police said that at least one of the two children that Jackson and Bostic shared was present in the vehicle. The kid was in the car, maybe even more than one kid. Jackson was booked into the Birmingham City, the city jail, and placed on a 48-hour felony extension. On Monday, April the 21st, BPD received a capital murder warrant on Jackson from the Jefferson County Magistrate's office. Jackson is currently in custody at the Jefferson County Jail on no bond. Why should she get a bond? She don't have no hairline. Why should she get a bond? We need to talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is this woman's head. So I know a lot of y'all are looking at her and y'all are wondering what the hell happened to the other piece of her head. Now, let's talk about this. You talk about traumatizing. Let's talk about her hairline being traumatizing, okay? I want you guys to take a look at this real good and goddamn close. And I want y'all to take a look at her head, and some of y'all are thinking, yes, I had to lighten it and brighten it up. She is in court, and she is laughing and chilling. She don't give a damn at all. To me, this signifies a hood-ass chick that doesn't care, and I think she needs to face a firing squad. Here's the thing about this hairline. So here's what these women do, because I don't know much about weaves, but one thing that I do know is that this woman wears a lot of weave. This woman wears a lot of makeup. This woman is not naturally pretty at all. I'm sorry, not every woman is pretty, and I would have to think that this is one of them that is just not fitting the mold of pretty, okay? That's okay. Not every woman can be pretty. Not every man is handsome. Shit. All right? Now, you saw that weave. Let me show you another weave. I'm going to show you that she keep covering that pile of mess up on her head. Apparently, he must have loved it. He didn't give a damn. I guess as long as it's covered up, he didn't give a crap. Right? That is a lot of woman. That is a huge. That woman just looked like she stinks. I bet you could smell. I could smell her through the screen. She just looks like she just smells like disappointment and a lot of non-exercising. She just looked like she's probably just like her breath probably just smells like cholesterol and fucking just oil and grease. That just is a bad looking woman, man. She is shaped horribly. Not even horrible, horribly. All right. Now y'all see this purple weave on? Purple weave, purple weave. Let me show y'all another one. This man must have really been in love with this horrible looking woman. Y'all said she is a whole linebacker. Hold on. Oh yeah. Look, we ain't even got to the teeth yet. Look, guys, we gotta go through this line item by line item. Okay. She smells like disappointment. I want y'all to look at this. This man was cherishing this woman. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know what he was so in love with, but damn it, he was in love with it. You guys can see here he playing with her feet, just ugh. But I guess she always had her hair on fleek until you snatch that crap out of her head, and then you realize you're just like, good Lord, that's what you was in love with. So here's what a lot of these women do. Not all, not all, not all, not all, but look. Okay, let's talk about this. This woman literally looks like she's a few calories away from a heart attack. All right, let alone a hairline. What these women would do is they would take these weaves, these wigs, and they will glue them. What's up, Terrell? They will glue them, literally take actual freaking skin glue and glue wigs and weaves and whatever the hell else it is they glue, those lace fronts. Glue them on the edges of their head, and then when they get done with it, guess what they got to do when it's time to take that stuff out? They literally have to rip it off of their skin, which starts to pull hair away from their actual skin, and they can't regrow it. This ain't alopecia. This is stupid, right? You could it's kind of like having a cut. You get a scab on there and you just keep ripping the scab off of there. Yes, it's going to bleed. Yes, you are not going to have no hair in a spot where you constantly keep gluing stuff and ripping it apart off of your head. Yes, you're going to end up with a shortage of hair in certain spots, which is why they always have. See, my hair fell out naturally. I wasn't gluing nothing on top of my head, right? This is natural. If it happens naturally, fine. This looks unnatural. That woman is unnaturally unattractive. All right, you look at this. She literally looks like somebody took a lawnmower and just said, you know what? I'm going to cut half of your yard and the other half, you know what? I've had a hard day today, and I'm just not going to cut the other half of your yard. That's what her head looks like a half-cutting yard. Her head literally looks like, you remember back in the day they used to call people biters. You take a bite out of something and leave the rest. That literally looks like her head was part of the biter movement back then. This is back in like the 80s. I don't know if y'all remember the biters. That might be too old for y'all, right? That is a horrible looking woman. Then on top of that, she was in court. And I want y'all to remember what she's in court for. This woman is in court for murder. And this is the look on her face, and we have video of her laughing. Look at this. Look at this. Let me blow it up a little bit. Can y'all see that? God, that is oof. I bet you she ain't even. She just look like she don't take baths. Look at her skin, Jesus. She literally looks like Leatherface. Let alone she got them little bitty dolphin teeth in her mouth. Can y'all see them little bitty tiny ass teeth? She got P. Diddy teeth. She got dolphin teeth. Y'all see that? I guess she got braces on, I guess. I don't know why. Like, why even bother? Jesus Christ. Anyway, Enough about her looks. I'm sorry. Look, I don't have no sympathy for people who kill folks, hurt folks, and on top of that, abuse children. This counts as child abuse for killing a man, the man of your children, the father of your children, killing him in front of them, in front of their eyes. But nonetheless, let me get into the news videos. We'll get off of her head here just for a moment. But let's take a look at the news videos. I want y'all to see her laugh at this. She clearly doesn't give a shit.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Yes, indeed. If y'all would do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. If y'all would, that'll help share this story. More people can see it. I think they tried to excuse it by saying that she shaved off some of the back of her head. That part in the front is definitely not part of a fashion statement. That is a crime, the way that her head. You know what? They ought to charge her with some additional crimes just for having a hairline that looked like that. But let me give you guys these videos. Y'all hit that thumbs up. I know some of y'all might not like my jokes, but you know what? It is what it is.
Dressed in a green and white striped jumpsuit with braids only on one side of her head, the other side seemingly shaved or possibly ripped out. Dressed in a green and white striped jumpsuit with braids only on one side of her head, the other side seemingly shaved or possibly ripped out.
I can't believe they actually commented on it like that. I agree. That's exactly what it looks like.
30-year-old Shatise Renee Jackson stood before a judge. She's now charged with capital murder after Birmingham police say she ran over the father of her children in front of them. It all happened on Easter Sunday. That day, Makis Bostic was hosting a celebration, Easter and his daughter's 7th birthday. Police say Bostic's longtime girlfriend and mother of his 2 children, Shatise Jackson, killed him by slamming her SUV into him, pinning him between the vehicle and his own home. According to investigators, the couple had been arguing throughout the day. Officers were actually called earlier on a domestic disturbance, but after talking to both parties, police say nothing criminal had taken place, so they left. But Jackson allegedly did not stay away for long. Authorities say she returned later that night and the argument escalated. Witnesses say she pulled a gun, shots were fired, though it's still unclear if she shot into the air or at someone. And then things took a fatal turn. Witnesses told police Jackson got behind the wheel of her SUV and ran Bostic over. Their children may have seen everything. Officers rushed to the scene around 10 p.m. and what they found was chaos. With around 50 people at the party, police called a, quote, max emergency because they say they couldn't control the crowd. More than 25 police units responded from 4 different precincts. Birmingham Fire and Rescue arrived as well, trying to save Bostic, but it was too late. He died at the scene. Bostic's sister, Catherine Bostic, spoke with AL.com. She described the scene as awful, saying family members tried desperately to save her brother, but couldn't. She claims the couple's children were inside the vehicle when their father was run over. Now, this is a crucial detail because under Alabama law, if intent is proven and a child witnesses the killing of their parent or guardian, the crime can rise to capital murder. After the incident, Jackson was arrested and booked into the Birmingham City Jail. She was placed on a 48-hour felony hold and charged with capital murder. In court, Jackson appeared to smile, at one point even seeming to laugh. As for the children, police say they were not physically harmed and they are now in police custody. Bostic's family says while their hearts are broken, they'll carry his memory with them forever, and they're determined to live in a way that honors him.
Birmingham charges announced after a man was hit by a car and killed. Officers say that Shatise Jackson ran over Makis Bostic after an argument at an Easter gathering on Lisa Lane. They say she was not there when they arrived. Jackson faces a capital murder charge as police believe at least one of their shared children was present when it happened. She's being held without bond in the Jefferson County Jail.
Also breaking right now, in a Birmingham homicide case, Shatise Jackson, a 30-year-old mother, is facing a capital murder charge after police say she ran over 27-year-old McKees Bostic, the father of her children, during a gathering on Easter Sunday.
And today she made her first court appearance. ABC 3340's Gracie Johnson was in the courtroom. And Gracie, what happened?
Muriel, Shatise Jackson appeared in court this morning for the first time since her arrest. She was initially brought before Judge William Bell, but the case was moved to Judge Hudson for a bond hearing. In that hearing, Judge Hudson told Jackson she's charged with capital murder and will be held on no bond. Jackson mentioned that her family plans to hire an attorney, but has not named the attorney just yet. The charge comes after a violent scene Sunday night on Lisa Lane. Birmingham police say Jackson and Bostic, who share children, got into an argument during a birthday party that was also an Easter gathering. Allegedly, she left, came back, may have fired a shot, and then hit Bostic with her vehicle, trapping him against a house. He died on the scene. And at least one child may have been present during this incident. Now, Jackson is being held in the Jefferson County Jail on no bond. Muriel.
All right, Gracie, is there any word on when the next court date might be for her?
A date for Jackson's preliminary hearing has not been set yet. Now, that hearing will determine if the case proceeds to trial. Meanwhile, the Birmingham Police Department says it continues to interview witnesses and review evidence from the scene.
All right, Gracie Johnson reporting.
Man, I'm just saying, look, it's just funny to me, in my opinion. Let me go to the next picture. How somebody like this, kind of like this picture. Let me see if I can pick a different one. Y'all give me a second. Let me try to get to it. Like this. Pictures like this, they take all of this time to look good and really, really get themselves together, taking all these trips and outfits and looking like $100,000. Looking happy like this picture right here, color coordinating. Like it's cute. It's cute. Like it's definitely, symbolic of family and love. That is a big woman. Like her whole bottom half is taking up the majority of that picture right there. Like, she's so big, she's almost blocking him. And that dude, I heard, is like 345 pounds. He's like 6'5", 6'6" or something. He's a big old dude. And I want y'all to imagine that she's covering him up. He is not a small dude at all. But I just find it highly crazy that they go through all of that to find the best clothes, the best weave, the best hair, nails, toes, spending all these thousands of dollars on matching outfits, and she won't do a damn sit-up. She won't do a diet. She won't go to a gym. She won't work on her health. She's just going to be big as hell. Just going to be big and stay big, and it's just flat out ridiculous what she did. Her hairline is ridiculous. Maybe she'll stay in jail long enough that maybe it'll grow back. Now that she can't sit there and glue that crap on the top of her head no more, who knows? But again, I'm going to say this about this man because I took these pictures because I wanted y'all to remember more than anything, this man was a father. He was a father, right? A father to these kids. The kids seemed to love him in the pictures that I found online. The family seemed to really care about him quite a bit. It makes you wonder if this man threatened to leave her. A lot of times you guys see that when these women get these thugs and they threaten to leave their thug boyfriends, they turn around and lash out at the women. In this case, I could see how this man probably was sick of arguing their little ghetto love story, arguing with each other. They think that's part of what love is. They think that's normal to be arguing every damn day and cussing and fussing and threatening each other. Oh, we love each other. We's going to be together forever and all of that type of stuff. That's not normal behavior. That's not normal human interaction behavior. He probably threatened to leave her, and she probably was like, you know what? I've invested everything into this person, and I'm going to take his life, and I don't give a damn anymore. And it's just for you to care that, to think that little about yourself, think that little of him and his legacy, the kids that y'all produced together, to think so little about their future and tearing their little souls apart, their hearts, is just unforgivable. And if they give her the capital murder charge, which I think they're going to get a conviction on that, then she's probably going to face the death penalty, and that's just going to be the end of it. Y'all keep those children in your prayers. Just a very, very sad story. So RIP to him. But again, this is affecting the children more than anything. Guys, we got to do better than this. So RIP to, what is his name? McKees. RIP to McKees. Keep those children in your prayers, okay? Thank you.